What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, I am Alex Wood, back again with another video. And coming at y'all with I'll say a sad video, I'll say. Most of y'all probably heard about the story about Deshawn Flood. His last name I thought was Hood, Hood, but it's Flood. But yeah, 37-year-old man who does some stuff that not everybody's gonna agree with it. That the crash out was valid. Some say it wasn't, but I'm just gonna go over it and just gonna give my opinion. A Detroit man, Deshawn Flood, showing up at his wife's job, Sterling Heights, shooting at her several times and then pistol whipping her after she tried running away, officers said. Police, excuse me, Deshawn Flood, 37 years old, charged with 2 counts of assault with the intent of red rum, 1 count of possession of firearm by a prohibited person, and 3 counts of felony firearm. How he got those charges and why he shot his ex-wife, I'll say it now, and pistol whip her, doing something that a lot of women have did before. Lying to their husbands, ex-husbands, however you want to say it, about if and when the children that they have and have a family with is biologically theirs. And not just one, not just 2, but all 3 of these children are not his. Now, respectfully, do I agree with what he did? No. Do I think the crash out was valid? Respectfully, no. I don't. And at the end of the day, I'm not saying what he did was wrong or valid, but I can understand why a person could be that mad, feel the rage, or even go want to act insane or something. I've heard reports said that he has. Yet we can't just sit here and just act like the woman didn't do anything to cause this man to act out and do what he did. Every action comes with a consequence. So I'm just saying, but let me continue on what I'm reading. According to the Macomb County prosecutors, he's faced up to life in prison on the assault to red rum delete charges. Just off trying to pew somebody. I can't really say the word, so that's why I say red rum. If y'all know, y'all know. If you not, y'all don't, look it up. Y'all know. But yeah, I just don't think that. Well, no, what I do think is that if and when the wife didn't lie to him, Deshawn Flood wouldn't be arrested, and he wouldn't have to spend the rest of his life in jail with the bond set to $1 million because of the shooting out in Shirlington Heights. Respectfully, a lot of women think that it's okay and acceptable to lie and be deceitful a man about not knowing his children. A woman will always know who her children are because it comes from her body. But a man, how is a man supposed to know? And I read comments from people who have commented on this video, on this situation, that this has actually happened on Tuesday, July 29th, or if I'm mistaken, um, but in July around that time. I'm just looking for wrote down the date. The only date I wrote down was July 29th. Yeah. But there's been other, dates of him, going to court, and people I've heard even seen comments people say like, oh, you should probably put a GoFundMe page for this guy. Some people have said that. I ain't mad at you if you did, but you're gonna have to pay that $1 million for that man. And if and when somebody does pay for the $1 million, um, where is it say? Oh yeah, other page does. Get on the back. I also written down. Yeah, Flood was arraigned for 41A District Court on Thursday, July 30th, 2025, and bond set to 1 million. If and when Flood posts the bond and is released, he must wear a GPS tether and can't contact the villain. Can't have any contact with the villain. Valid. Yet I do think that if and when he did go about the route of just being cool, calm, and collected and just signing them divorce papers and everything, he still would probably be held accountable or responsible for those children, you know, by the state. Some people say that he won't. Some probably say that he would. Yeah. Still, this is why you gotta be careful. And it's just what's even more sad is his own family members. The male relatives, uncles, uh, brothers, male cousins, and even nephews that will be willing to do something like that, and knowing other family members have to know. I mean, if none of them had to speak up about it, that just show you, blood ain't thicker than water, you might say, but still. And the reason why I want to speak on this is just also say, don't waste your time dating a single mother. Don't waste your time in creating a life with somebody that doesn't respect you, isn't willing to be honest with you, and to do something like this, you know. Um, in my personal opinion, if and when Deshawn Flood does get out of jail and he has to wear a GPS tether and all that, hopefully he's able to get a job and just get your passport and just go abroad. And I just say that for any man out there who's watching this video. Now, I'm not trying to say all modern women are bad from the state where you live. If you want to choose to date the woman in your state, to each his own. Do what you want, you know. But explore your options and explore states and places out there, and not just for women in particular, but for just seeing the world and seeing other parts of the world. Because not that many people get to travel and see the world. But when it comes to a woman, be with a woman that respects you, wants to be with you, and is willing to tell you the truth and not have to lie about this. And I'm not sorry for saying this. If and when you do marry her and decide to have a child with her, get that DNA test, because at the end of the day, it's not saying you can't trust her, but you gotta know. And many other people saying how mandatory tests should be, uh, how DNA tests should be mandatory, and I agree with that, because at the end of the day, if there are women in 2025 going into 2026 that are willing to lie to you about stuff like this and go to the grave with this, and a son or a daughter is not even to know who their real dad is, I'm just saying, why even want to put up with something like that? Respectfully, for those women who do decide to do this, I'm just saying, no way, shape, or form am I trying to say women are in where you're from are bad or anything like that. But action speaks louder than words. Respectfully, I just really feel bad for Deshaun because now he lost his freedom. He can't even file for a divorce. Has to spend the rest of his life in jail. And if and when there's somebody out there, if not one, but multiple people willing to pay that milli for him to get out, he has to live the rest of life with like some tether, whether it's around his neck, his wrist, or his ankle, and not be around that woman, which I understand. Granted, I don't like that, and I just don't like the sympathy that they're giving to this woman. You know, like oh, how I feel for the woman and this that. Yes, yes, yes. She was shot multiple times. She was pistol whipped, and that is all wrong. That should have never happened. But you know what would have made sure that would have not have happened if she would have been honest. If she would have actually been with the man she married and gave him children instead of giving Deshaun's other male relatives children. And one thing I said before even recording this video is if and when you decide to give this other male relative children and everything, why don't you even just be with him and marry him? Because it's like me, I might know this is well, but a lot of some women, majority of women who do get pregnant, they want to go on to these dating shows on YouTube or be on Tinder or stuff like that and expect another man to take care of responsibilities that the man who is the baby daddy should be taking responsibilities for and be marrying you. I just don't understand that because if and when she would have been the guy that she really liked, she really loved that D pause and all that other stuff, this whole situation would have never happened in the first place. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It just seems like some women, like this one, love to bring children into this world and not have them know who their father is. And I think that in itself is the most disrespectful thing that a woman could do. Respectfully. No matter your nationality, just the fact that you're a woman, you just want to have children with a person, and you know this person wasn't crap. You know this person didn't have a job. He was a bum. He's broke, and dusty. A lot of stuff. Women like to call regular average men or good men, and all that stuff. All these insults you knew that he was a cheater. He cheated on you before having children and this and that, but you still decided to stay with him. Whether he was that type of guy or not, but women who do deal with those type of guys and whatever, and then you just want to leave him because he's such a terrible person because he wants me to submit this and that, whatever. I just yeah, I'm probably like a little bit triggered. Whatever. I just really hate that the Deshawn Flood has to live the rest of his life behind bars for being with a woman and then knowing some information no man want to know at the end of the day. And if I'm not mistaken, this even happened to a Caucasian judge. He found out that some children that he were raising, one or two, weren't biologically his, and he understands like, wow, this is what regular men actually be going through. Like it can happen to anybody. You know, get with you a regular girl. Don't get one of these single mothers. Stop playing other men's save game and live your life. You know, because it's way more better than dealing with somebody else's problems. Respectfully, you know. So but yeah, that's just my 2 cents, my opinion on the situation and everything. And yeah, you guys have a good night. Be safe out there. Brothers, get your passport. Seek better options, and be with a woman this wicked and mess up your life. Because trust me, it ain't worth it. There are other women out there that would love to be with you, get to know you, and give you a child and have your family. Respect. But see y'all next time. We're Squad.